Hello, hi, welcome to my channel. Hi, today we're going to talk about something interesting. We're going to talk about whether land prices are coming down and is it still a good time to buy. So over the weekend, some of my clients have been asking, is it still a good time to buy? They saw the land bids at Jln Tembusu came down, and then they're wondering, like, are the land prices going to continue to come down? Should they wait it out and buy later? So let's look into this topic, and how we're going to do it is that we're going to study the bids. We're going to look at the developer bids. We're going to find out that are the land prices really cheaper and why there's a lack of interest at the Jln Tembusu second site. So the last bid at Jln Tembusu, the second bid, only had two bidders, and Jln won by 0.1%. The land price was much cheaper, 1069.37 PSF PPR, compared to Tembusu Grand, which was 1,302.26 PSF PPR. So it's about 18% lower. Based on this Business Times article, it was about 18% lower. So does that translate to the second Tembusu plot? Will the units be cheaper? Let's look into the bids. Previously, give me a minute. Okay, previously at Jln Tembusu, now known as Tembusu Grand, the tender closed in January 2022, and as you can see from here, there were 8 bidders. 8 bidders for Tembusu Grand, and out of the eight bidders, I'm going to exclude the last 2 at the bottom. They have other interests somewhere else, and they just want to put in a bid, maybe a cheeky bid to see if they can get or not. Like how Jln did, right? Also a cheeky bid, right? So okay, so let's look at the first 6. CDL won. Obviously CDL won, so this is the final price, 768 million. And then you have second place Intrepid, third Jln, you have Far East, CEL, you have UED. Okay, so if Tembusu won, Tembusu Grand, right, the first plot got so much interest, how come Tembusu 2 suddenly no interest? And somehow now they won at a lower tender price. I won't say land price, lower tender bid, right? So you can still see the developer names are here. Okay, I'm going to open this other file. This is interesting. This one is the URA record of land sales. So whoever bought where, you go to URA, you download, you're going to get this. Give me a minute. My comm very slow. So meanwhile, if you think that my computer loads very slow and I should change your computer, please find me for your inquiries, support me, right, so that I can get a new computer, then we can load up faster, then, okay, and then we can do more interesting videos. Okay, right, Jln Tembusu 2022. So January, they closed the bid, right, CDL won, as you can see from here. CDL won. Okay, CDL won Triton CDL, you see CDL Triton won. So if they won, right, where did all the other bidders go? So let's look, CDL Triton here. Next at Dairy Farm, who won? Jln won at Dairy Farm. Jln here, right. Then after Jln, UV Development, okay, UV Development is not here. They got Pine Grove. Xinghai Yi won. Xinghai Yi, where? CEL Xinghai Yi, the 5th bidder, right? They won at Dunman Road, now known as Grand Dunman, right? And then, moving on, we have Soybuilt UED. Where did they win? Lentor Central, September 22, which is UED here. Bidder number 6. Bidder number 5, bidder number 6, bidder number 3 accounted for already, right? You look at here, 4C residents at where? Lentor Central also. Together, I mentioned this, no idea, I just know, right? 4C, I mentioned this is the bidder 6, right? So TID Residential, where is TID? Second bidder at Lentor Hills, right? And then Hillview Rise, Far East Silver, with this security house, where bidder 4. So accounted for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounted for. All the bidders moved on. Then now at Jln Tembusu, which is year 2023, the second piece of land came out. So second piece of land came out, all of these are committed, so maybe they don't want to go for it lah. I mean, developers also will feel stretched, right? At some point, they'll feel that I got too many projects. Let's hold on. Second half of the year, still got a lot of projects coming up. Let's bid for one in the second half of the year. So maybe they decided that they're overstretched, they don't want to do this Tembusu second plot. So that leaves CDL at Tembusu Grand and any other challenger, right? So CDL must be thinking to themselves like, do I want to take up this land? For CDL, they already have Tembusu Grand. They might not want to do Tembusu number 2. But if some developer come in and sell and got the land cheaper and managed to sell cheaper than them, then they'll be in a very bad position. The buyers who bought Tembusu Grand will be thinking like, how come CDL project cannot earn money on? And that's not how developers work. Developers want the buyers to earn money. They want the buyers to go into a good development, enjoy their stay, and when they're ready to move on, they make money. That's what all the big developers do. So even if they don't want to take Tembusu 2, the least they can do is put in a defensive bid that in the event nobody takes up the land, at least they can take it and they can sell at break even. So one land make money, the other land break even. At least they protect their buyers, then at least their buyers will feel happy like this is a good brand, CDL is a good brand, can make money on, right? So that's what they did. That's why this time around Tembusu 2, there are 2 bidders only. Everyone else got somewhere else, they got something else, they're committed. And CDL themselves might feel that they're committed because recently they also got a lot of projects. So they might feel committed and say, hey, let's put in a defensive bid. If nobody take, we sell at break even. If somebody take, then they sell more expensive than us, they make money. But we also bought previously, we also make money. Our buyer is also going to make money. So 皆大欢喜, everybody happy, right? So we go back into the Tembusu bid. Tembusu 2, we look at the 2 bids, right? Let's go into this analysis. This is a very interesting analysis done by H Property. Okay, so Jln Tembusu, Tembusu Grand, you see, awarded 26 January 2022, break even at 2130. So this is the price that is their break even. You can see that they break down the construction, land financing, the tax, marketing, everything break down already. That's what H Property does. Thank you very much. And this is their break even. So, like I say, they decided that Tembusu 2, they're going to put in a defensive bid. So by right, defensive bid should put in the same amount, right? How come Tembusu 2, Jln Tembusu, the break even is 1911, which is what we are talking about today. Why the land price cheaper, right? To understand this, whether this is a real cheaper price or is it really a defensive bid by CDL, I have to explain something else to you first. So in September 2022, URA came out with this harmonization of floor area. Basically, the government agencies have different way of calculating what is floor area, and they decided that they're going to make it universal. One standard for all the agencies, easy. And because of that process, they cut out some of the profit margins of the developer. So developer used to earn a bit more from aircon ledge, from the curtain walls. Now they can't do it anymore because of this harmonization of floor area. Basically, they lost a bit of profit margin. We look at the article that came out right after government announced that they're going to implement. So it was implemented this year, 1st June, but it was announced in September last year. So Business Times article, you look at this article, new definition of floor area could eat into developer saleable area and margins for condo project. Right. We look into page 2, which is I think is the more important one. So page 2 states that total sellable area figure takes into account bonus GFA of up to 10%, including various schemes, balcony, recreation spaces, built environment transformation, right? So previously, when developers build, they have this bonus GFA, which they can tap on to earn a bit more profit. But because of the new harmonization regime, their ratio of total sellable area to GFA will drop. So based on this Business Times article, they're going to lose about 10% of profit compared to before the new regulation. And then you see here, the article further states that some developers may be prepared to reduce their profit margin. However, pre-tax profit margin for condo project these days whittled down to 9-13%. If profit margins are reduced further, they may be too low to justify the risk of property development. So basically what they're trying to say is, previously, even if I sell at break even, inbuilt in the project, there's about a 10% profit margin. So even if developers sell at break even, they still can make about 10%. But today, because of this harmonization, even that 10% might be gone also. So break-even price might be real break-even price. Right, so this is a summary. We go back down to the breakdown prices given to us by H Property. Okay, so you see, Tembusu Grand, 2130, break-even. Right now, I want you to do an exercise with me. Take out your calculator. I'm going to use my phone calculator. So you take your calculator out. You take 2130. You take away their 10% profit. So you times it by 0.9. What do you get? So for Tembusu Grand, 2130, if I want to put in a defensive bid, break-even price, I take away my 10% profit. What I get is 1917 PSF PPR, which is the Tembusu Grand 2 break-even price. Right, 1911. So we did a 10%, we took away 10% of Tembusu Grand's profit margin. The break-even, 1911. Our calculation, 1917, is very close. So roughly you can guess what happened. CDL put in a defensive bid. Using the break-even price, they took their break-even price, right? You use your calculator, 191, we can use our price, 1917, we times it by the gross floor area, which is 72,003 square meter. So we times it by a 10.764 to convert to square feet, right? And we get this price. You see that all this is by millions, right? So we're going to divide it by 1 million. You divide by 1 million, you get your total cost. So our total cost is 1485, their total cost is 1481. Right, very close. It's just a 4 million difference. You minus off marketing, legal fees, land financing, construction, you get the land price, which is somewhere there, 828, somewhere there. If Simland gets it, they can do construction, they are developer, they can do everything, they can power everything. So for Simland, maybe they have cost savings, economies of scale. So they might be able to do slightly cheaper in the beginning, but they're going to want to earn their 10% also. So the price is not going to differ much. What I would say is that these two land, at this pricing, the land price, both are the same. If you factor in that they must earn their profit margin of 10%, it's going to be the same. Just that we don't know how they're going to sell for Tembusu Land Plot 2. Are they going to sell break even plus 10% profit margin? Or are they going to strategize and sell you the break even at the lowest floor and then they load it up floor per floor? Very aggressively load it up until they get their profit margin. Really don't know. But solely on land price, I think that they are about the same if you factor in that they both need to earn. If you ask me, should you wait for Tembusu 2 to come out? Maybe I can get a cheaper unit. I'll say don't bother. Chances are it's going to sell at the same price as Tembusu Grand or even more expensive. And for Tembusu Grand, you know what you're getting already. The model is up, the blueprints are up. you know your facing, you know which unit you're getting, you know what price you're getting. And after this analysis, we realized that Tembusu Plot 2 is not going to be any cheaper. The developer is not going to sell it any cheaper. Maybe 1 unit or 2 units just to entice and bring the hype in, they'll sell it cheaper. But the majority are all going to be same price or higher than Tembusu Grand. So if you wait, you might miss out on the current Tembusu Grand price. Because if the market goes up, or if the second plot realize that they cannot do at this price and they need to go a bit higher, your opportunity cost is going to be a lot higher. Just going up 1% is about 20K. Then you lose at 20K. You might as well buy what you see now. They're just beside each other. So basically, almost everything is going to be the same. The safer option would be to just continue and consider Tembusu Grand if you're considering between those 2 plots of land. Let's go into the other land that was sold cheaper. Okay, let's go to Lentor. Single bidder, they got it at a fantastic price, but is this a lower land price or is it a break-even price? Let's go through the same process that we did for Tembusu. For Lentor Hills, the last land that was sold just before Lentor Gardens was awarded to 1 single bidder. The break-even was 1993. So 1993, let's look at let's take 1993 again. We take away their 10% profit and we get 1793.7. And what's the break even here by each property? 1797. Is again very close. About $4 PSF per plot ratio difference. So same process, you take this number, you times it by your GFA, which is 45,921, and then you times it by 10.764 to do your conversion from square meter to square feet, and then you divide it by 1 million because that is the scale that they're using. You get 886 million total cost. You see the total cost here, 888. In fact, they project their total cost slightly higher. But based on this, you work backwards, minus marketing, minus professional, minus land financing, minus construction, you get the land price. So what they did Gokko bid very aggressively to get this land? No, it looks like a defensive bid again. It looks like just in case somebody want to come and play punk, right? Somebody want to come in and lowball the land. I better protect my buyer. I better protect my previous buyers who bought from me and protect my current pricing of the land, and I put in a defensive bid. And that's what they did. They put in a defensive bid. You look at the land price, that's exactly what came out. Let's look at the same process. Let's look at the previous bids. So for this, let me close it. For Lentor Hills, let's look at Lentor Hills. Lentor Hills Parcel A. So Lentor Hills Parcel A, previously 4 bidder, same process. Let's look at it. Intrepid won, right? What happened to the rest of the bidders? Simlian, as you can see here, dairy farm, they move on, they got dairy farm. And then UVD, United Venture Development, they move on, they got Pine Grove. And then UED, like what we saw, UED, they got the UED and Soybuild, they got this one, right? So they all moved on and they all got their commitments elsewhere. So they all move on, they got their commitments elsewhere, which left no developer interested in the current Lentor parcel. So from Gokko's point of view, I'm committed to a lot of developments already. Should I take or not? So they thought maybe, I'm guessing their thought process is that they probably thought, let's not be too aggressive. We just put in a defensive bid. We protect our price, we protect the buyers who came in to buy. And unfortunately or fortunately, no bidder came in besides for Gokko. So they got it at break-even price. And from what we were discussing just now, the break-even price is without the 10% profit margin. You factor that in, that is the break-even. you deduct all the marketing, the legal fees, the land financing, construction, everything, you come to the land price. And based on that land price, you can see that it's not cheap at all. Right? It's totally the same price. It's the same price as Parcel B. Lentor Gardens is the same price as Parcel B. So which is the cheapest land right now at Lentor area? Lentor Hills. So should you buy? There's no doubt at all. It's not even the same as Tembusu. If you want to buy a place at Lentor, Lentor Hills is currently the cheapest development there. New launch. Cheapest new launch there. You should get it because the growth potential is the highest among all the land parcels. And I think the development is selling quite well. Right, I think they're close to 50% sold. Some of the blocks are 1 kilometer to some of the good schools. So no doubt, should you wait for Lentor Gardens or should you go and get Lentor Hills residence? If you are looking to stay at Lentor, no question at all. Lentor Hills is the cheaper one. The land price did not come down. Don't expect Lentor Gardens to sell cheaper than Lentor Hills. If you want to stay in a new development in Lentor area, currently Lentor Hills residences is the cheapest right now. So don't wait. Land price did not come down. Right, so that's the end of our discussion today. I hope you find my analysis useful. I hope we all learn something. If you have any interesting comments or objections, you can leave a comment below, and then maybe we can discuss it the next time round. If you like what I do, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And I will see you again for the next topic soon. See you. Bye.